Hello, you're watching James. My name is James, you're watching me, and I'm talking about watches. Today I'm going to be talking about my Islander watch. In particular about how good it is, how much I like it, or whether I think you should buy one of these watches. Before I continue though, I want to say that I really enjoy this watch. I've had it for over a year and I've worn it very regularly throughout that year. I also want to mention that I've only had experience with this one particular model. The Islander watch range is quite large, and I don't want to say that just my experiences with this particular watch defines the experiences of all the watches in the range. So I am only going to be commenting about this particular watch, so I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what it's like to own an Islander watch and whether or not you should buy one. Alright, so I'm going to have a good review of the watch now, and I'm going to have a chat about the things that I like about it, the things that I don't like about it, and at the end I'm going to summarise what my final thoughts about this watch are and how I think it fits into my watch collection. Thank you. See you soon.
So let's have a look at the Islander watch. It comes in this fairly simple cardboard package, white and blue. Has a warranty instruction card. Comes in this nice white cushion. And here is my ISL-03 Islander watch. As you can see, there's a few scuff marks. I have worn this a lot over the last year. So the basic dimensions of the watch are 43mm by 14mm thick. It has a 46mm lug to lug. However, as you can see, the bracelet overhangs with a male ending, effectively taking the lug to lug to 53mm. Size to my 6 3/4 inch wrist, it's 167 grams. It has a piece of flat sapphire with AR coating. It has drilled end lugs. There is C3 luminova on both the indices, the hands, and also the ceramic bezel insert here. The dial itself is a muted blue with no real sunburst effect, with a blue and a slightly muted, again, red or possibly maroon sort of colour. All the indices are applied, has the Long Island logo in the centre, and below it says automatic 200 metres. Comes with the day-date complication. It comes on a solid link bracelet with screw links. Comes with a brush finish on the bracelet. It has a brush finish on the case, one finish all throughout, which is quite nicely done. The screw down crown is signed with the Long Island logo. The bezel itself has a very nice feeling movement, and as you can hear, has a lovely sort of a nice sound to it. It all lines up perfectly. It has a nice edge to it, which is easy to grasp. The bracelet doesn't fit perfectly into the end with the solid end links. There is a fair bit of movement on both sides there. The bracelet itself feels quite nice. The clasp has a security lock, 2 pushes. On the rear is a screw down case back with the Long Island logo, which is just basically etched in. Inside the case here you have a NH36 21 jewel automatic movement with a 21,600 vibrations per hour. This self-winding movement supports hand winding and hacking with a power reserve of 41 hours. The crown itself is easily unscrewed, pops out to the first position, easily to hand wind. The crown guards are very soft and nice feeling and do protect the crown. It gets in the way very slightly when you are moving it, however, still feels nice. So what are the obvious things I like and dislike about this watch? Overall, it's a lovely watch. I like the way it looks, I like the way it feels. It is finished nicely, it has that very nice soft feel to the metal. I like the signed crown. I love the look of the face. I like the applied indices and the hands. They're very well done, they're very nice, they're very crisp. Everything lines up well. It has a very nice feeling bezel. Overall, the bracelet's rather nice, and it's nice to have that mill clasp. So what are the couple of things that disappoint me about this watch? Firstly, it would have been nice to have the female end to the bracelet so it drops straight away. However, it does still fit nicely on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. It would be certainly nice for these end lugs to fit better. As nice as it is to have the mill clasp, it certainly does feel like a rather off-the-shelf version of this clasp. The Islander logo and etched back is okay, but it's rather bland. It certainly does not have much of a 3D effect to it, and it just seems to sit there. It'd be nice to have something a little bit more intricate or a little bit more depth to it. And here it is on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. I certainly feel that it suits my wrist size. It certainly conforms to my wrist fairly nicely, and it is rather comfortable. But as you can see, that gap there is fairly obvious. But let's get on the Timegrapher. So as you can see, it's got a 21,600 beats per hour. The beat area is a little bit high. It's within okay margins, but it's higher than what I would like. The amplitude's lower than I would certainly like. And you got minus 13 seconds a day, which is within parameters of this movement. Not the best figures that I would like to see. However, certainly not terrible.
So, what are my final thoughts of my Islander watch? Well, I have slightly mixed feelings about it. Overall, it's an amazing watch. It really is. It comes with a lot of things featured with it: sapphire crystal, the upgraded movement. It has a solid bracelet. It has the milled clasp. It has hacking and hand winding. They're all the things you really wanted out of something like the SKX. But is it as good as an SKX? Is it as good as an SKX that has been modified and upgraded? My thoughts are, if you were going to buy an SKX and you want to upgrade it with all these different features, you want to put a hacking and hand winding movement in there, you want to put a solid bracelet on there, you want to put a solid clasp on there, you're going to change over to sapphire crystal, you're going to put a different bezel on there, and you're going to pay someone to do all those things, then I think you're going to end up paying a lot of money. And for a lot less money, you're going to get that with this watch here. However, it's not going to be an SKX if you buy the Islander. So what am I saying? I think if you want an SKX, you should go and buy an SKX. However, if you want a modified SKX, you want all those extra features, but you still want it to be the SKX, you need to go modify the SKX and spend the money on it. However, if you like the aesthetics of the SKX, but you want the features and the luxury attached with the upgrades, then the Islander is definitely a good way to go. You are getting a lot of bang for your buck. My final note on it is, even though I think it is good value for money and it comes with all these upgrades, it does feel like I have gone onto a shop like AliExpress and I've ordered a case, I've ordered a dial, I've ordered a sapphire crystal, I've ordered a solid link bracelet, I've ordered a cheap milled clasp, and I've had them all put together for me. That's kind of what it feels like. Not to say that those cheap components are bad, not to say that I haven't ordered those things myself and put them onto my watches. Overall, they're really good, but it kind of just feels like pieces off the shelf that have then been put together. But why do I actually really like it? I think that one of the big reasons why I like it is because of all the features that are the SKX of this. The case shape, the case feel, the case size, the dial layout. However, I have a couple of Seikos in my collection, and I didn't desperately need another Seiko in the collection. As much as I like the idea of having a fully modified SKX, this was a much better value for money option, and I think it was the good way to go. I also want to note that this was even better value for me because I bought this one secondhand and it was about $100 less than the recommended retail price. I hope this helps a little bit if you're considering an Islander watch. I certainly don't want to dissuade you from buying one. I think they are a great watch. But I think you should know what you're going to get when you do order it and what you are getting for that money and what other options might be available. But saying that, I'm happy with my Islander. I'm sure it's going to stay in my collection for some time. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really makes a difference to this channel. I want to continue filming these videos, and the more subscribers, the easier it is for me to do that. Alright, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video.